let's beware of those messages that tell us, that pound in us, nobody's coming to save you. We have to be careful of how we receive that. It does not mean that we are supposed to do it all on our own. Let's be okay with ourselves when something deep inside us says, I long for the support. I long for the partner. I long for the day when I can let my guards down and come off the survival mode because I have people around supporting me. All these things are okay. They are our nature trying to express itself and saying, whoa, something is wrong when you tell me I should be able to do it all by myself, that I should be completely self-reliant, completely independent, and just remember that no one is coming to save me. Hello, beautiful. How are you doing today? There is this message going around that I've been hearing, and I know some spiritual teachers and a lot of people in personal growth talk about it, and it's the idea of nobody's coming. Stop waiting for somebody to come and save you. You are on your own. You have to figure it out. And there is this kind of shaming of looking for help outside ourselves, right? I mean, in different contexts, we hear it's all inside you. You have to be self-reliant. And I just think there is this confusion and wrongness in the message and what we are told is the right way to go in life. There's a confusion between self-reliance and how the word independent is being used these days. You know, independence and self-reliance is becoming like the epitome of being a whole human being. And I have a problem with this. I've been hearing some things and it kind of sparked this resistance, this kind of anger inside of me with this message, because if you're finding some value and we're moved to share my channel with other people, subscribe, leave a comment. I would love the support. Thanks a lot. This kind of anger inside of me with this message, because as human beings, we are actually wired for community. We're wired for belonging. And when I say community, what do we get out of community? Yes, the sense of belonging, but in a community, people help each other. What is the purpose, one of the purpose of family or tribes and clans or communes is that resources, personal or material, are shared because no one is expected to either have it all or know it all. I mean, we live in a society where we say that we are too isolated, and yet the idea of being self-sufficient is acclaimed and encouraged. And if you are not, and you're going in life saying, I wish I could find a partner that would help me move through life because I'm finding it hard to do it alone, then we hear, well, maybe you're supposed to learn to do it alone because you should not depend on somebody else. Or I'm almost done writing my book and I think, well, I would love to meet somebody who maybe could put me in contact with a publisher or somebody with a platform that would share it, that would help me promote it. And it's this thing, oh my God, it's bubbling inside me. But there is something wrong with saying that this is not okay because it's getting mixed in that message that nobody's coming to save you. Well, we're maybe not looking for being saved, but there may be something in our brain that says, I'm not meant to do it all on my own. And it's not about a quid pro quo. If you help me with this, I will give you that. If I don't have the money for this, I will exchange it for that. The quid pro quo, I think, happens, but in a way bigger context. in a universal context, and it doesn't mean that the person that you received from, you are meant to give to. But there is this reciprocity right now that has so much value put on it that we're kind of forgetting that this is not how humans are meant to live. And that it is absolutely normal, in my view, to long for people that will support you, that have the resources that you don't, and that you will have something that you can offer to the world outside this narrow, two-way street, but in a system of exchange that is just a giving and receiving, because we are human, and just like in nature and in different ecosystems, every little ant or piece of organic material or the rain or whatever is all meant, the bees carry the pollen, but the pollen doesn't say to the bee, well, I gave this to you, so you're supposed to give something back. No, it carries it over, and then it's used somewhere else in the ecosystem. And this is how everything stays in balance, because everybody is born with their gifts, with their abilities, and their non-abilities. I was thinking of an example. It's like in suburbs, every single house has their own lawnmower. Every single house has their big ladder to go to the roof, because asking the neighbor, hey, can I borrow this, has become uncomfortable, when ideally people would be able to share resources. If a ladder is used a day a month, well, what's the point in everybody having their own? Anyway, I think it's the same with money. I think it's the same with talents and skills and any personal resources that you have. And oh my God, I wish the world would go back to living that way. And I hope that one day I do. So let's beware of those messages that tell us, that pound in us, nobody's coming to save you. I see the truth in that, okay? I'm not denying all this. But we have to be careful of how we receive that. It does not mean that we are supposed to do it all on our own, because what would be the point of being human and being surrounded by other humans? In that also, it made me think, is that somewhere in that idea that it's okay to ask for support, to not expect to do it all, to be open to receiving and to giving in a different way. I don't know if you'll get that, because I'm not expressing it very well, but part of that way of being is very feminine in nature. And in a way, when we are told that we have to do it all ourselves and nobody's coming, we are shamed for wanting to be in our feminine energy. And that is a shame. It is a shame for this society and for the balance of energies between the masculine and the feminine. Again, doing it all ourselves is unnatural. We are not meant to. Now I'm going to go off on that feminine and masculine, but there are energies that are different, and we are meant to complement. And this is how we are meant to not only survive, but thrive in the world. So let's be okay with ourselves when something deep inside us says, I long for the support. I long for the partner. I long for the day when I can let my guards down and come off the survival mode, because I have people around supporting me that are there if I'm lacking something or there is something that I can't do by myself. It's okay. It's not a fault. We are designed that way. And if something inside is saying, this is what I want to be a woman who stays at home and takes care of the clan or takes care of the family or the people on the street, all these things are okay. They are our nature trying to express itself and saying, whoa, something is wrong when you tell me I should be able to do it all by myself, that I should be completely self-reliant, completely independent, and just remember that no one is coming to save me. I'm not waiting for someone to save me because I am not helpless, but I am looking for support and for love and for community. So, something to think about. Bye. You have a nice week. I will see you soon.